All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol PLTR. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And let's jump into this chart. So PLTR has been in a downward trend. I've talked about the fact that it hit a peak here, and you could see that it's been a slow moving downward trend. And then from this point forward, actually, let me kind of draw this differently. Here, let's do it from this peak. It's kind of just going in that direction. And here we are. This is where we're at. Is it going to reach that peak and fall even lower and do another peak? And then that's where we're going to see this continue. Or is this just some sideways movement right now after that quick recovery here that we saw here? Right? And excuse me for all the drawing in lines. This is the quick recovery that just happened, and this is the sideways movement since then, and this is the direction that the stock is going in. So far, it's holding itself up pretty nicely above $25, and also we have some other supports to look at. So let's look at this a little bit broad before I narrow in and look at the most important points. So the lowest point that this reached in that downward movement was 21.16. The next point, which is the lowest point before the rise, was 23.77, and the most recent high was 30.83. The highest point was up here at 31.82, which is almost a whole dollar away from that previous high, right? And also the highest point, which was very volatile before the fall, was in the $33 range, 33.50. I don't really like using that as an indication, but that is still a point that the bulls have to break through to hit newer highs. So it's fine if you want to look at it that way, you can, but I want every single investor to be aware of all these points that I just stated. You can write them down and have them there, and each one is going to be more important than the other depending on the time frame that you're trying to look at this. So for the next couple of days and weeks, obviously it would be down here close to that $23 range, and then that high up here of 30 and some change. And then for the next coming weeks, almost month, would be down here at the 21, and then the highs of 33, or down here at 31 and some change. So it all depends on how you're looking at it. But the most important points right now in the near term is what we're about to look at here based off the chart with our new resistance and supports. But all those numbers do have a significance with the volatility of this stock, depending if it's going downwards or it's going upwards. The most important thing I've noticed right now is the fact that we've been in bearish territory. There's been a tug of war, but the bulls are doing really well at staying above that $25 mark, which is close to the support that we're about to look at in just a moment. So let's go ahead and tune in here on what the chart is showing us based off the last couple hours right now of the day, and also the 50-day moving average. Super important. Let's look at it here. So yesterday's resistance level was pretty important, right? Up here at 26.53. But that's the first resistance level above the 50-day moving average to look at right now in the near term. The 50-day moving average is 26.40. I'd write that down. That lets us know on what side of the chart we're in, if we're in bearish territory or we're in bullish territory. Now, the bulls have to break the resistance before getting there. Once they cross there, they're going to want to pull themselves up to newer highs and new resistance levels further away from the 50-day moving average. But we're in bearish territory right now, sitting at 25.98, and the bulls are going to want to break through this. So let's look at this closely and see here based off the chart what it's saying. So it says 25.98 here, but the live is 25.83. I guess that's how the candlestick started, and then here we are now, right, with the bouncing around, and there's 3 minutes in this time frame left, because this is a 30-minute time frame. So our support, which is one of the lowest points reached today, was 25.13. Very important number to keep in mind. If that gets broken through, we could be on our way down to newer lows, newer support levels, and moving further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. I advise every single investor to pay very close attention to that, due to the fact that if it breaks through support, We're already in bearish territory, and we're getting deeper into bearish territory, pulling away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction. So super, super important to keep that in mind. Now, the bulls, they're going to want to cross the 50-day moving average. They're going to want to pull away from it deeper into bullish territory. But before they get there, they have to break through this resistance. That's 26.15. If they don't break through this resistance, it is going to be very important to watch this stock because it could hang out kind of sideways in this channel, but the 50-day moving average will slowly start to catch up to the price, giving an opportunity to the bulls in the near term. But we need to watch it, right, later this week as the week progresses. If the bulls do break through 26.15, I want every single investor to be aware that that does not signify that the bulls have gained control. It does not signify that the bulls are guaranteed back into bullish territory. It's the beginning catalyst and an indicator for us as investors to know where this is heading, and if they can turn that into a support, they're on their way up to newer highs and new resistance levels. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money. At the end of this video, there's going to be a pop-up video, and in that video, I will be discussing about the S&P 500 index and how it's been rising several points on scheduled dates. As you see here on the graph, these circles are the dates that the pumps have happened, and I use them as examples to show you guys how much the stocks have risen, and the S&P 500 index rose on those dates. And the reason why it's rising is due to the fact that the Federal Reserve is pumping the markets. On these dates, the charts and the dates speak for themselves, as we can see it here, and I break it down into more detail in the video. But just to summarize it, on these dates, the S&P 500 rises, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with it, anywhere from 30 cents to $3 per share. I know it may not seem like a lot, but per share that does add up, and these individual ticker symbols are giving you back profits. These are profits, and like I always say, profits are profits. Whether it's $1 put into the market and you get back $2, you've put in an initial investment and you got back more than what you started with. That's what it's all about. And also in the video, I go into further detail showing you guys these dates and showing you how much it rose. Like, for example, this was one of the last pump dates, and the lowest point that it reached was down here at 35.11, and the highest point reached was 35.57. That's like a 40-point jump. And here we're seeing the same thing. It went down to 35.88, and it rose up to about, I'd say, let's see, this is all still in the same day. It rose up to about a total amount of 36.23. When you do the math, that's almost a 40 to 50 point jump, and there's individual ticker symbols rising up with this. Now, I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm just here to inform every single investor on the great news, on the opportunity to maximize profits and minimize losses. You have to do your due diligence and research, but these charts and the dates speak for themselves. I mean, this was probably one of the largest jumps that I've seen in the last couple of pumps, and it was down here at 33.02, and it rose up to about 33.88. That was an 80-point jump. There was probably ticker symbols rising up more than $3 per share on those dates, and even on these dates, there's individual ticker symbols rising more than $3 per share. Check it out, see for yourselves, and my best advice is look for ticker symbols that may be resembling the behavior of the S&P 500 index, and you'll be able to go ahead and give it a shot. Check it out. Again, I'm not there to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I'm not there to guarantee you profits. I'm just here to go ahead and share the information along with every single viewer and investor. The video should be popping up soon. If you haven't seen it already, pop up. There is the link down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.